Good morning, and thank you all for joining us here today at the corner of Main Street and Division Avenue for what we believe is a historic and certainly a long-anticipated announcement. My name is Paul Dyster. I'm mayor of the city of Niagara Falls, and I am here today to announce that the vision of the community for the revitalization of Main Street, exemplified by our support through the years for such transformational projects as the construction of the Niagara Falls train station, removal of the Robert Moses Parkway, expansion of the park, the largest since 1885, has now moved to the next stage, because I am happy to announce here today that Blue Cardinal Capital, and you'll hear a little bit more from them a little bit later this morning, has acquired 38 Niagara Falls properties from former owner Dick Hastings and is moving forward with a revitalization project here on Main Street. I think that's worthy of a round of applause, folks, right? The acquisition on behalf of Blue Cardinal Capital investors, as I say, includes 38 parcels, 20 of which are located along Main Street itself. It covers more than 200,000 square feet of developable space and over 2 acres of vacant infill development land. And so far as we know, it's the first reported purchase by an Opportunity Zone fund in upstate New York, something that we're very, very excited about. As I've said, it's been a long road to get where we are here today, and we've had a lot of help along the way. And so I got a bunch of acknowledgments that I want to do here. Before I do that, I want to recognize some of our elected officials who've been able to join us here today. Our legislator from the district, Owen Steed, our hardest working man in the Niagara County Legislature. And we've managed on short notice to round up 4 members of our Niagara Falls City Council. I think the 5th, Chris Vocchia, would be here, except that he's out of town. But we're joined here today by Council Chairman Andy Tuma, by Councilman Bill Kennedy, by Councilman Ezra Scott, and by Councilman Ken Tompkins. So thank you very much for being here today. I also wanted to acknowledge our friends from Bank on Buffalo, who I understand are partners also in this enterprise. Thank you for being here today. So, you know, as I say, I've got a lot of acknowledgments that I have to do. We've had a lot of help on this project, even if you just look at those who've been advocates for the revitalization of Main Street, the removal of Robert Moses Parkway, the construction of the train station through the years, going back to Councilman John LaFalce, Senator Chuck Schumer, to Congresswoman Louise Slaughter, big advocate for construction of the train station, and of course Brian Higgins with his advocacy on the issue of Robert Moses Parkway. For over a decade, 4 partners, now 5, have labored on the project to remove the Robert Moses Parkway. It resulted first in the Riverway project upstream from the falls, and now in the project along the gorge that you see underway here today. Those partners are the City of Niagara Falls, USA Niagara Development Corporation, our local affiliate of Empire State Development, and I want to thank Anthony Villardo, President of USA Niagara, for being here today. New York State Parks, another one of our great partners. Ange Birdie joins us here today. New York State Department of Transportation, I don't see the DOT here today. And those 4 were joined by the guys that are paying for the vast majority of this project for the parkway removal, the New York Power Authority. And we're joined here today by Lou Panessa. Thank you so much, Lou. You know, these are the folks, along with our Economic Development Department, Tom DeSantis, Seth Piccirillo from Community Development, Alan Booker, and the rest of our, Tom Tedesco, the rest of our Niagara Falls team, Bob Richardson, that you're going to meet soon, and his Blue Cardinal team, all of the partners that worked on the Niagara Falls train station, Amtrak, Customs, FHWA, you know, I mentioned the advocacy of Louise Slaughter. All of those folks were the people who in the end managed to bring the project home. However, you know, I've been at this a long time. The issue of revitalization of Main Street its connection to the removal of the Robert Moses Parkway was probably the issue that got me involved in electoral politics to start with, way back in 1999. And I'm sporting today my vintage 2001 I Believe in Main Street button, which I'm wearing here today in honor of Lori Davis, the late Lori Davis of the Main Street Business Association. I also want to remember all the folks with the Niagara Heritage Partnership, Bob Baxter, Jim Huffnagel, Joan Johnson, Bob Borgatti, and all the folks from the Heritage Partnership that worked on the parkway removal. The Waterfront Revitalization Task Force, Max Kuykendall, Diane and Lisa Vitello, Joe D'Angelo, and a variety of others that worked on that. It's been 20 years of work here that has made today's announcement possible. This most recent phase of development, the announcement that's being made today by Blue Capital, is a project that's been at least 2 years, I think, in the making. It's a third phase of a larger plan that involved the construction of the train station and the removal of the former Robert Moses Parkway in order to connect the Main Street Business District back to the city's waterfront. And we are so excited today, finally, that the people's vision for Main Street is being realized. We always said back in the days when we were lone advocates out there, holding our press conferences and trying to rally the public behind the idea of the removal of the parkway, that if we could just succeed in connecting Main Street back to the waterfront, that the investment community, the development community would take notice. And now, lo and behold, as the project is underway, that's exactly what's happening. And boy, is that a great relief, to know that all that work has been worthwhile. So now it is my great pleasure to present to you the, I think his title is Managing Partner of Blue Cardinal Capital, someone I'm sure you're going to hear a lot more about in the coming weeks and months, Bob Richardson. Bob?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
As you heard from the mayor's remarks, this is a project that has been a long time in the works. We think of ourselves coming into this neighborhood today as the next steward of important properties for the city of Niagara Falls. And our mission, our ambition, is to be good stewards of those properties and to work with the community, with the city, to revitalize this portion of downtown and make it as vibrant as it once was. I hadn't planned to make a lot of remarks this morning, but I'll be available if you have other questions. This is really much more about the city's progress, and our progress, our forward-looking vision is really about the future and not about how we arrived at this moment today. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your interest in Niagara Falls, and stay tuned for more announcements to come. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Bob. As I say, one of the things that's most exciting about this project, and something that we know has helped to pique the interest of our private sector investors, is that this is going to be the largest expansion of the park at Niagara Falls since it was created in 1885. The state parks are a major economic engine here in downtown Niagara Falls, and we think soon to become a major economic driver in the north end as well. And we're very honored to be joined here today by one of our fabulous partners from State Parks, Ange Birdie. Ange?
Thank you. On a quick personal note, I remember walking through this building with former Assemblywoman Del Monte in the year 2000 with Mr. Hastings and envisioning all the great things that were going to happen here. So finally, 19 years later, we're here. And it is a day that's long overdue. As a member of the State Parks team and as a member of the Parkway Removal team, when that project was being planned, this was exactly the day that we envisioned. This project of removing the parkway will not only signal the progress of this community, but it shows that we can all work together here in Niagara Falls. The removal of the parkway will connect our city to our waterfront. It'll spur development, and in fact, I can almost smell the beer coming from the brewery that I know will be here someday soon. And most importantly, our community will become walkable and bikeable and connect to all of the great things that are around us. So this is where people are going to want to be. And on behalf of State Parks, we welcome Blue Cardinal Capital. Can't wait to see what happens.
Thanks very much, Ange. One of our other great partners here in the north end of Niagara Falls, for now going on 2 decades, has been Niagara University. And even before the visionary leadership of Father James Mayer, we had Father Joe Levesque, president of Niagara University, who believed that someday Main Street would turn around and someday we would have a chance to celebrate, as we do today, the great partnership between the city of Niagara Falls and Niagara University. And it is my great pleasure to introduce to speak on behalf of the university, Dr. Deborah Colley. Deborah.
Thank you, Mayor. It's my pleasure. It is with great pleasure that I stand here today representing Father Marr. I think he sent us the sunshine. It's like his blessing on this moment. And we are very happy to, as Purple Eagles, we are really happy to welcome the Blue Cardinals to our neighborhood. So thank you. On behalf of Father Marr and the entire Niagara University community, congratulations to the mayor for your vision and this legacy, to Bob Richardson and his Blue Cardinal team, along with the many people that have contributed to this important day. As one of the largest employers and economic contributors to the region, not to mention the largest Catholic university, we stand committed to the collaboration that is necessary with all of these partners to leverage resources for the vision of a thriving, vibrant community here in Niagara Falls. The transformation is far-reaching in terms of intellectual innovation, social, and economic development. Among other benefits, as you can imagine, this creates a dynamic area for young people who will live and learn here, and as we all hope, they may select the Niagara region for their career and stay with us right here at home. St. Vincent de Paul, the founder of our Vincentian mission, reminds us what must be done. This is exactly what must be done for our children and families, for the Niagara Falls residents, for Niagara University students, and all of the stakeholders of this great region of Niagara. The fortitude that we all see here today exemplifies the hope for today, tomorrow, and the future of this great binational region. Congratulations, Mayor.
Well, Deborah, I'm happy to accept congratulations on behalf of the City of Niagara Falls and all the people who've worked on this project. But of course, nothing happens in municipal government without great partnerships. And the most important partnership for any city is the partnership between the Office of the Mayor and the Niagara Falls City Council. And I want to thank all of the members of our Niagara Falls City Council, some of whom have known some details about what was being worked on here and had to be patient in waiting for a positive outcome for all of their patience and forbearance over the course of these last, not just months really, but years as we put together this project on Main Street. So it is my great honor and privilege to welcome to the microphone the chairman of our Niagara Falls City Council, Council Chairman Andy Tuma.
Thank you, Mayor. On behalf of my colleagues that are standing behind me today, what a great day this is. And I also want to echo some of Deborah's comments. I want to congratulate and thank the mayor for his vision and also the economic development team for making this happen. This is a great day. I've been in the mayor's ear now as the longest tenured council member for almost 6 years. And certainly I wanted this project to move a little faster. I wanted the mayor to use his powers to be, and certainly I emphasize that on a regular basis. But Mayor, you stayed the course. You said, Council, we're going to get this done. And certainly here it is today. So Mayor, this is a tribute to you and your patience, and certainly we owe it to the Book Corner, Rapids Theater, and all the other people that have invested on this street. And here we are today. I want to thank Bob and his team for making this happen. This is a great day for Niagara Falls. It's a day with a future. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody, for being here today.
Well, I'm a great buff of history, as I think all of you know, and I'm also a big fan of Winston Churchill, right? There's a famous quote from Winston Churchill I thought was sort of apropos the moment. It is at times seemed, almost hopeless to believe that the revitalization of Main Street was possible. And over the course of the years that I've been mayor, when we've had positive announcements that we've made downtown, new hotels being constructed or other major investments in the downtown tourist district, all of our folks from the media would inevitably take a drive up North Main Street to show that, yes, we still have vacant buildings in the city of Niagara Falls. Yes, we still have issues that we have to work on. And we know that we've got a long way to go still in Niagara Falls, but we think that today is a very important victory. In World War II, the Allies weren't doing so well at the beginning, right? The war started in September 1939. 1939 didn't go so well. 1940 didn't go so well. 1941 didn't go so well. 1942, the first half of it didn't go so well. It was just sort of, one piece of bad news after another. And then finally, in 1942, the British forces in North Africa scored a victory at the Battle of El Alamein. And Winston Churchill was asked, well, what did this mean for the course of the war? And he said, it's not the end, it's maybe not even the beginning of the end, but it's the end of the beginning. And I think that what we're marking here today is the end of the beginning for Main Street, right? This first phase of watchful waiting, of dreaming of a future that we thought might never come, that's over, and now it's time to put our shoulders to the wheel of the hard work of redeveloping what we think is going to be one of the most vibrant business districts in all of Western New York. So again, I thank everyone for coming out here today. I thank Bob Richardson and his team for the faith that they've shown in us here in Niagara Falls. And I think we're going to stick around and take a few questions. Is that the plan? Yeah, absolutely.